Well, third round is over. Thunder Valley is done, in the books. We had a lot of crazy stuff going on today. I guess really the main topic is injuries. And we had our points leader, winner of the first 5 motos of the season, Eli Tomac, go down hard in our second moto. It's been kind of a boring 450 class, and I tell you what, this last moto that we did was far from boring, because we had Tomac, who looked like he was just going to run away with another victory. He just came out and ended up wadding himself, which was kind of, you know, he looked so on point all day, but this track is just treacherous. I mean, there's just no way that you could have possibly thought that Glen Helen would have been rougher than Hangtown, and it sure was. Glen Helen was, and Glen Helen was a nasty track. It was brutal, tested all the riders. We thought, okay, well, maybe that was just a fluke. Well, I'm gonna tell you what right now, Lakewood was the roughest track this year so far. The ruts were unreal. It was basically like slot car racing. Once you did get into a line, you were stuck in it for about 300 yards. It was pretty brutal. And it showed. 2 of the guys who have just been really dominant, both of our red plates going down today. Luckily, Marvin Muscan not injuring himself and being able to come back in the second moto and get a second place and salvage some points on the day. But Eli Tomac, like we were saying, going down hard and injuring his shoulder in what looked like to be a leg injury. Shoulder was definitely out of socket. At this point, I really can't say too much on record, but me having previous shoulder injuries, I'll tell you what right now, if that's the first time that shoulder's gone out and it took that long to get back in, it's going to be very hard for him to line up next weekend. Speaking of injury, Ken Roxon, who soldiered it out at our first round, scoring points, getting 17th in the first moto and really soldiering the second moto and getting a 5th place. That's the type of rides that you need to stay in this championship. Looking at today, he almost won today. If he wouldn't have got that flat tire at the end of the moto, I think we would have saw Ken Roxon standing on this podium after looking like he wasn't even going to make the first race. That's what this is all about, to see if possibly Eli Tomac can come back next weekend and race with that injured shoulder. You just got to stay in it, stay in the fight. And obviously Ryan Dungey, we've seen this time and time again, consistency counts. And you know, we might have been dogging on him a little bit with getting beat bad by Eli Tomac round after round and race after race and having that minute 30 deficit in the second moto at Hangtown, but look at Ryan Dungey. He's got the red plate again. It's something we've seen so often, and he's got to go down as being one of the most consistent riders in history. While we're talking about injuries, let's talk about Justin Vogle's bike. Yeah, Justin may not have been on it because Christian Craig was today, and he was ripping the track up. Qualifying first in practice, then going on to finish 4th in the first moto, coming straight off the couch. It's pretty incredible seeing Christian come out here and battle like that, especially knowing that he hopped right on that bike and was beating all the other Geico Honda riders. If I'm a Geico Honda rider under that tent, I have my head down right now going, man, I just got beat by a guy coming off the couch, and I'm full-time on this team. They better watch out for their rides. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed Jimmy Talk this week. We tried to do something a little fun with Kevin Kelly and Jason Wigan, but of course they chickened out and left me to do another track interview out here by myself on the track after everything's done and all the banners are taken down. But hey, you know what? We gotta do what we gotta do, and we're gonna come up with something a little special for you next week too. Good news is about the tracks being rough this year is budget cuts over at RacerX and MX Sports. They really can't afford to get me a hotel tonight, but luckily all the guys today dug me a really nice rut to climb into for a cave tonight and have a little bit of shelter from the elements. But we'll just kind of climb down in here. You want to get down in this rut just like that. Oh, it's so cozy. The dirt's a little bit cool right now, which is going great against my sunburn. Hopefully these guys stop working on the track so I can get a little bit of sleep tonight.